This week, a poll was released showing that Republican Party identification had dropped by, I believe, 4 points over the course of the past year, which is certainly significant. At the same time, Democratic Party identification had stayed steady for the past year. Now, you might say overall trends like that, okay, that says something, but we've got a new survey that might even say more about everyday politics, especially when it has to do with Trump. So Trump's favorability, not amongst everybody, not amongst Republicans, but specifically Fox News viewers, those who get the most pro-Trump, outside of maybe Breitbart, idea of what's going on possible. Let's take a look at the effects of polls over the course of the past year coming from Suffolk University. Let's bring this up. You're gonna see that back in June, he had a 90% favorability among Fox viewers, dropping to 74 in October and down to 58 in December. Now, I'm not great at math or anything, but that is a big drop over the course of less than 6 months.
32 points.
32 points, not for everybody, not like people who watch Fox.
Right.
No, he's in a world of trouble.
That is rough.
The other thing that just spoke to me the other day when the exit polls out of Alabama is that only 48% of voters that day had a favorable opinion of Donald Trump. 48 had a negative opinion of him that were
in
polled
Alabama.
In Alabama, where he won by 26 points in Alabama.
I've got one more number to throw on top of that. Obviously, regardless of everything else, that's a huge drop. But let's take a look at this. Fox viewers who strongly approved of Trump's job performance dropped from 55% in March to 32% in October, almost losing half of his strong approvers. The Post notes that what's interesting is that the president's favorability dropped even though Fox viewers from October to November were slightly more inclined to say the US was going in the right direction. So their view of Trump is changing in the opposite direction of their view of the country and probably the Republican Party generally.
Right.
They seem to be able to see Trump distinct from the rest of it.
Which is incredible. And
Thank God.
Right, that's
Why
good.
didn't they do it 2 years ago?
To go back to the Alabama thing, think about the Republicans that were coming out to say that they were, that they had a favorable opinion of Trump. Most of those were the Roy Moore supporters who were, the big Trump supporters.
Yeah.
So it's really like 48% of Roy Moore supporters having it, not entirely. But these are numbers that if you're the president, you got to be very, very worried about.
Yeah.
If he dips below 50% of Fox viewers, he's probably gone.
Well, he's gone because he'll lose Republicans, which means no Republican wants to go to the polls next year. No sitting member of Congress who's a Republican with a president at 32%, with these people are where they're losing all of this support among their masses, and it becomes easier to go against him if you're running for Congress too.
So the right wing's sometimes a little slower to the take, right? So it takes them a little while, but what. My thesis was wrong forever on the throne, truth forever on that scaffold, but the scaffold sways the future. And I guarantee you I didn't come up with that. Okay.
So that's one of the more brilliant things you've ever said.
It's good reason for that.
I liked your moral arc of the universe quote that you came up with.
Ben Store, what did you say?
You had a great way of wording it.
Yeah, well, it's like when Trump said, I came up with this great word, fake.
Right.
And that goes actually to the point I'm making here, which is that, look, one of my theses was that he's going to lose moms in Kansas. And he's lost 5 points in 1 year among Republican women. They're down to, they keep dropping and dropping. Among women overall, he's down to 32%, I think, in approval. But that's not that surprising. He's down to 32 for the whole country in some of the polls. So he's losing them. And in Alabama, 34% of white women voted for Doug Jones. You might think that's a low number, but they used to only be 16% that voted for the Democratic candidate
in Alabama.
In previous elections, right? Yeah. So now the number of white women voting for Democrats has doubled in Alabama. Okay, so and then the second part of it is the problem that Trump has is he speaks, people hear it, right? It's one thing to cover up stuff. Right, and you could say, like, if he says, "Oh, Russia's not true," most of the guys on Fox watch Fox News go, "It's not true," etc. But you can't cover up what an idiot he is, because he tweets, he gets on camera, and he says things like, "Puerto Rico is surrounded by water, big water, ocean water." And the Fox viewer go, like some percentage of Fox viewers
are still
go,
the same.
that guy's a little embarrassing.
Those people heard him though. I will argue against that. for a year and a half running for the presidency.
What did I tell you? They're a little
slow.
slower.
They're slower to get to. Right. Well, I guess so. I mean, you did say that. I also think that the Me Too thing has hurt this guy a ton. I think that this year was punctuated at the beginning by the Women's March in Washington, at the end by Time Magazine saying that Me Too is the person of the year, and that only works against the president. And so I think you're seeing a little bit of that come to fruition too.
And whether we're right or wrong on why it's happening, the fact that it's happening is really, really important. Because if he goes to pardon Flynn or fire Mueller or does anything outrageous like that, he absolutely positively needs Republican politicians to hold. Otherwise, they're going to throw him out of office.
Right.
And if Republican politicians think that they will lose popularity with people like Fox News viewers rather than gain popularity, then they're going to throw him under a bus because they're politicians.
Completely.
So if he falls below the waterline, if he gets less than half of Fox News viewers, he's in a world of trouble, and we're this close. You just watched a video by the Young Turks, the home of the revolution. If you'd like to get the full show, come join us and become a member. tytnetwork.com/join.